Welcome into Jags A.M. I'm Kainani Stevens. Brian Sexton and John Ogier are with me. We're going to recap the game for you from yesterday, the Jaguars facing off against the Jets. We'll start out with our big things. Big thing number one is surprise, surprise. Stop me if you've heard this before, but the Jaguars lost a one-score football game in which they had a chance to win. A lot of it coming down to taking field goals over touchdowns.
Yeah, like I said, you want to get to the fourth and have a different result, but at the end of the day, you got to get there and you got to put up points, and I can turn some of those threes into sevens, like I said, and it's a different game. So I'll learn from it, and thought the guys played well, fought hard, and I really enjoyed playing with this group, and we're going to figure it out.
Brian, a lot of that game is what we've been talking about this season. They play close in these games. They have an opportunity, but then it's either the defense giving up big plays or the offense can't score when they need to, and we saw both of it yesterday.
Well, the offense was moving the ball surprisingly well early on, which we hadn't seen this year. And the defense did a nice job. Other than after the fake punt, where Aaron Rodgers drove them down the field, he completed just one pass in the entire first half. So, John, the Jaguars had two red zone opportunities where if you just get touchdowns, maybe you incite the shut it down button at halftime. But instead, Aaron Rodgers figures, well, it's close enough, let's go. And you were just waiting. You just knew that this was going to come down to a fourth quarter game, and he has a long history of winning games at the end, and the Jaguars obviously have a long history, well, at least this season, of not winning games at the end. So that was maddening to watch because you knew you had an opportunity. You had to take advantage of it because Rodgers would eventually come to life.
Yeah, most people watching this have watched the NFL enough to feel what everybody felt at halftime, which is you had all these opportunities, you had dominated time of possession, yardage, first downs, to a point they hadn't done all year. And then you look at the scoreboard and it was, 13-7. That when Davante Adams and Aaron Rodgers on the other side, the script to call in our video from a couple of years ago, the script was pretty easy to see yesterday, and unfortunately it played out.
It did. It was pretty well written. Our second big thing, though, BTJ is the way. If there was one bright spot yesterday, it was the rookie wide receiver. He had 2 touchdowns, 10 catches, over 100 yards receiving. And he also broke 2 of the rookie franchise records.
On the yards, when I was super excited because they called me. I didn't know if I had it or not. So I was super excited about both of them. Really, I knew when I got the touchdown, I broke it. So it was just super exciting for me. It was a great moment, but at the end of the day, still just wanted it'll be better if I got the win.
Didn't get the win, but we get to see a special player, John, in Brian Thomas Jr., really coming into his own as well, playing with a backup quarterback and still finding ways to get the ball and score touchdowns.
Yeah, he's good. This franchise has never seen this in terms of a first-round drafted wide receiver who's more than living up to it. There's many players at the position in the last 5 or 6 years around the league who you can compare him to. This team has needed one of those guys, and they've got it. The shame is he's breaking out on such a bad team, which the Jaguars are right now, that probably nationally people aren't going to feel that. But Brian, he's got, there's so many guys. I'm not going to say he's going to be the best receiver in the league, but he's going to be elite, and he's going to be a guy they can depend on, a building block, all those things. He's one of the 2 or 3 most important players in this team.
No doubt, and I'm going to leave the BTJ conversation to you guys because it's been all we've really had to talk about in recent weeks. I want to just spend a moment on Brenton Strange, who we might not otherwise mention. He caught 11 of 12 balls yesterday, stepping into a critical role because the tight end in this offense is a critical part. We hadn't seen him that way, and I recall people were disappointed by his rookie season, and we said just hold on because the guy shows promise. And yesterday, Brenton Strange delivered on that promise. He has been a really good football player, whether you're asking him to block or run a route and catch a critical third down. Brenton Strange is part of the way around here, too. You talk about BTJ and Tank Bigsby. Brenton Strange has moved his name, Kai, into that triumvirate of young offensive weapons.
Another one of the young players that we love to see developing as this season goes along. Our final big thing is going to be Mac's world. Mac playing one of his best games in Jaguars uniform, but came up not enough at the end of the game when he throws an interception. But the energy he brings out there definitely needed around this time of year.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate you noticing that. I think for me, it kind of ruins it because we didn't win, right? And I'm always about that. But at the same time, I've been very hard on myself in the past, and my goal is to finish this year strong and see where it takes us. And I'm bummed, I'm disappointed because we were in that game, and I'm looking at it from a professional standpoint and what can I do better. And I thought the coaches called a good game and the players executed for the most part. I just got to make a couple more plays and we'll be in a different spot.
Brian, they didn't win the game, but the energy was different, and I think at this time of the year, because they've lost so many games, it could look like it did against the Lions every week with no energy and just flat, but at least it was entertaining.
He was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac is a fun guy. We know that. We watched it in training camp. But yesterday when he was running the ball and spinning off of a defender's attempt to tackle him, or just fighting for the extra yardage and getting up and smiling and pointing, and I felt like it was his day. I felt like it was the Jaguars' day, quite honestly, as efficiently, John, as they moved the ball. It's just when they got to the red zone, your day is 3, not 7. And ultimately, everyone's going to remember that last throw that was intercepted with still an opportunity to try to tie the game and say, well, he's Mac. Yeah, well, for a lot of yesterday, he was a lot of fun to watch. And this has not been a fun season for the Jaguars, so I appreciated that.
Yeah, look, he's, I believe, has a long career in the NFL. I think it'll be as a backup. He brings it. He's a pro. He's fun to watch. I just don't know. We've all seen it. To attack defenses downfield, his arm is not what the great quarterbacks are. Yeah, it was fun. And then at the end, you throw the pick, and that's not fun.
Yeah.
John likes fun.
So do I.
Stay with us. We're going to go over the highlights for you from yesterday against the Jets.
Figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way, from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
Come on. Listen up. Just like football, timing is everything. Only water your lawn when necessary. And always check the weather before turning on those sprinklers.
Save water, save money, and score big. It's a win-win.
Whether you're on the field or at home, we're all on the same team. Florida's water. It's worth saving. This message brought to you by the St. Johns River Water Management District. Visit sjrwmd.com for more information.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Football is back. Celebrate with a gay Duval meal deal. Score 2 Roller Grill favorites and a 20-ounce Coca-Cola soft drink for just $4.50. That means you can choose any 2 to pair with your Coke. 2 hot dogs, 2 tornadoes, 2 roller bites, or mix and match. Whether you're stopping for a quick snack or tailgating with friends, this is a victory for every Jags fan. Deal happening now through January 2nd, 2025. Stop by to purchase in store.
The 2024 season is pawsome. Register your pet for the Four-Legged Fan Club, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your furry friend can access exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the season. Fan club members will be automatically entered to win the Pet of the Game sweepstakes, with 2 Jags tickets and sideline passes for pet owners, and the chance for your pet to be featured on the video boards as Pet of the Game. Visit jaguars.com/promotions/Four-Legged Fan Club to sign up.
You say there's nothing quite like the feel of the open road when you ride a motorcycle. You know it takes concentration, knowledge, and skills beyond those required to drive a car. Ride Smart Florida would like to take this opportunity to remind you to enjoy the road, but to always ride smart. S-M-A-R-T. Say no to drinking and riding. Make yourself more visible to motorists. Always wear your helmet. Ride in control. Train regularly and get endorsed. Visit ridesmartflorida.com for more details. Do you ride smart? This message is provided by the Florida Department of Transportation.
Move the freight, move the freight. Magellan Transport voted the coolest office space in Jacksonville. You can apply online at magellanlogistics.com. We welcome you back in here on Monday. Sadly, not a victory Monday, but we're going to go over some of the video against the Jets and talk a little bit about what went down in that game, because things started out not bad, as we talked about the first half.
It was the first opening drive touchdown they've posted all year. They only had a pair of field goals to shoot for. So, we had talked with Mac early in the week about, what does it take to get started early? He said, well, I'm not a football scientist. Well, he looked like one in the first drive.
Football scientists, we do. A lot of the short screens, we know that works well for them. Obviously, that was something they wanted to do. It was a game plan that they came out with, and it worked well early. And getting BTJ involved, obviously, was huge as well. There's some of that Mac energy we talk about. We love to see it. After this, I just felt like Brian Thomas Jr. was going to have a day, and we know he always has that ability to have a big play, but just getting him involved early and just seeing him being comfortable out there, you can tell when he's kind of feeling in rhythm.
That's incredible separation there, right? In a tight area to just run away from the defensive back like he's not even trailing him. Just put the ball out there and let him go get it.
Yeah, during the draft, you heard from the analysts that there were 3 guys at the top, but that out of all the others, he had the ability to be a 1. And we could start to see it in training camp, where he would get open easily, and he had such natural speed, and the DBs were talking about how hard it was to cover him.
The Buccaneers DBs.
Well, even the Jags.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of jokes in there. But he's special in the way he's very hard to defend. He has natural speed. What was cool about that, he broke Alan Hearns' rookie record, and he went over and gave the ball to his mom, Sandra. And out of it, it's fun in an unfun season to see a kid kind of coming into his own. And there's a confidence. I love his confidence because it's not a cockiness, meaning he knows he's really, really good, and he really doesn't have to tell everybody he's really good. And he plays with that. He's not surprised when he succeeds. It's going to be fun to watch how good this guy gets.
Turns into cockiness on the field, though, I think.
Yeah.
I think what he's saying to some other people, the defenders. I know.
That's okay. I just love the way you approach it.
Listen, if I love it with Mac, I'm going to love it even more with Brian Thomas.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk a little bit about the fake punt and then the first touchdown for the Jets, because at first you were like, okay, we go score, we get a 3 and out.
Things are looking all right.
And not quite what meant to be.
Right.
So.
Well, this is always, you're always in danger of this sort of play late in the season if teams are involved that are out of it, because there's really no risk, nothing to lose. I don't know that you would have seen this call from a team in it or in week 4, but when it's 2, 3, and 10 teams, roll it out there and go with fake.
People
it was fun.
Detroit are unhappy with Dan Campbell this morning for going for an onside kick. So you do see some craziness there. It felt like once they got that first down, here comes Aaron Rodgers. And Garrett Wilson is really fast, and look at him, just no one's covering him.
I can't imagine that was the plan, but
probably not.
All by himself. So.
There were a couple of those instances yesterday where it's like, wow, look at how wide open the receiver is.
All right, now let's talk a little bit about some of the Mac what are you doing moments. So his first interception of the day, and then also kind of that scramble after as well. So with Mac Jones, we know interceptions will come. Obviously, it's frustrating when you feel like things are going well, and then it kind of stops everything up. But
the first one, though, didn't.
It wasn't,
It was third down.
It was, it's the same. In fact, it's a really good punt.
Yeah, and that's the sort of play that I think with Mac, and I'm not sitting here trying to hammer on Mac, but with Mac's arm, if you're going to get a big play, that's sort of the time to throw it up and see what happens, because you're punting on the next down anyway. So this one will go down as, okay, 2 interceptions for Mac. That one wasn't terrible, and then all of a sudden it turns into Derrick Henry.
My complaint, though, is that he was throwing at Devin Duvernay, right? I mean, he's not the tallest guy, and you're throwing into double coverage for Devin Duvernay. And here, I mean, this is credit for him. I mean,
he wasn't going to slide.
Yeah.
Mac Mania.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
He's a runner.
He himself said he's not the fastest guy. I mean, that's a quote from him this
That's why he
week.
has the spin move.
And to fight for that was on third down, pick up the key first down. I loved it.
He didn't need to say.
Brian,
he
you
was
didn't
the
love this,
best
though,
guy.
did you?
Yeah, no, this I hated. See, this is,
Yeah.
and you and I were texting, and your thought is, well, this is what you get with Mac. You just toss the ball out of bounds. Don't take the 6-yard sack, because now it's 3rd and goal from the 13 as opposed to 3rd and goal from the 6. I mean, Mac, what are you doing?
I think Mac would tell you that was a little bit of a brain fade, which we all have. Not everybody has it on
National TV.
Yeah, listen, I get it, but you're the quarterback.
Oh, no,
just drop it out of bounds. That's all you have to do.
All right, let's talk some Davante Adams things, because that is a talent. Obviously, we knew Aaron Rodgers, very talented. Davante Adams, very talented as well. And seeing that combination all the years they've played with each other, just some impressive plays out there on the football field.
Well, he only had one catch, one target in the first half, and you just knew this was
coming.
This was game-changing. This was a Hall of Fame quarterback, and a lot of players and coaches talked about it yesterday. But we're talking about one of the best receivers in recent memory and a Hall of Famer for certain. And I was trying to put in context what yesterday's performance, where he was just physically better than everyone else in the secondary. Julio Jones came in here in 2015, and the Jaguars no one could cover him. And Andre Johnson did it time and time again with the Texans. That was an epic performance by that receiver. He was just so much better than everyone around him.
You know, and we've talked some this year about this sort of dynamic with this team. I've said all year, I don't know if the Jaguars have enough great elite players.
No.
And you say, well, all I think is going to have Davante Adams. Well, the Eagles beat the Jags this year because Devontae Smith. Okay. Made a huge play above the X's and O's. Great players win games like that. And Davante Adams being the best player on the field meant the Jets won.
Well,
and the Jaguars need more of that.
They had that touchdown reversed and got the ball back and went right back to him. So they didn't think about anybody else. We're 17. You can't cover him.
Well, there were 3 or 4 plays Davante made. Now, the 2 big ones in the fourth quarter, you're not fast, but you might have been able to get the first down on the last play.
Oh, yeah.
They gave him too much as well. But there were also plays there were 3 or 4 plays. The touchdown, the 27-yarder down the sidelines that he did get the ball, and I didn't think he caught it.
Yeah, he did.
And he made the catch. Those were throw it up to a Hall of Fame player.
And let him go.
And again, I don't want to belabor the point, that Brian Thomas Jr. is turning into, and I think he's quite there yet, that's what you have to get to a level.
He has a long way to go in the sense that it's about timing. I mean, you could just see that it was innate between Rodgers and Adams yesterday. That is time on task. That is not training camp. That is not year 2. That is year 7 kind of stuff.
But the good news for the Jags is
they have a quarterback.
Brian Thomas Jr. has the ability
to
make that sort of play. I don't know that they've had that since Blackman.
No, they have not. And you hope that next year the quarterback is healthy and the wide receiver stays healthy, because those guys get beat up too. But that you're seeing that timing on some of those fade passes that he just hasn't been able to hit with Mac Jones. He just doesn't have enough muscle memory from running the route on the practice field.
He doesn't. Unfortunately, we did not win this football game. I'm not going to show you the last interception, and we talked a lot about the Jets. So we're going to move this along today, and we'll tell you what our hot takes are for the team when we come back after the break.
Navigating the current housing market and figuring out your best move when it comes to a mortgage isn't your full-time job, but it's one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. That's where the experts at Jet Home Loans get into the game and coach you to your ultimate goal of getting not just the right loan, but the perfect loan for you, the home of your dreams. Jet Home Loans works with you all the way from application to closing, making sure your game plan is perfect. Make the call to Jet Home Loans and let their team join your team to make your dreams take flight. Visit jethl.com.
The kick is up. It's good!
Score winning sub deals this Jaguar season at Firehouse Subs. Receive 50% off on any sub when the Jaguars kick a field goal of 40 yards or more. It's a bold deal for the bold city. Download the Firehouse Subs app for offer details. Redeemable only at participating Jacksonville and Orlando area restaurants. Only available in the Firehouse Subs app.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Andersen. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you ready for a taste bud touchdown? Well, Jags fans, if you're at the bank and craving a snack that's shell-shockingly good, look no further than Luray Peanut Company's boiled peanuts. Picture this, you in the stands, cheering on your Jaguars, and in one hand, a bag of piping hot boiled peanuts. With original or Cajun to choose from, they're so delicious, you'll wonder where they've been all your life. So grab them while they're hot and get back to the game. And as always, Duval! Luray boiled peanuts, where every nut is a winner.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, has been powering Jacksonville since 1912. Powering where we compete, where we're entertained, our bridges and highways, and where we live and work. IBEW 177 has been powering Jacksonville for more than a century and will continue long into the future. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 177, is a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Register your furry friend for the Jaguars official four-legged fan club for pets, presented by Forever Vets Animal Hospital. Your pet will receive access to exclusive merchandise, events, and sweepstakes throughout the 2024 season. Visit jaguars.com/promotion/four-legged fan club to sign up today.
I think it's extremely frustrating, but we got a good group of guys that win or lose will stick with it and stick with each other. And I think this locker room's done a fantastic job through thick and thin this year of rallying around each other. So, we could get, it could be the exact opposite, and guys haven't let that happen. So, very appreciative of that, and it makes coming to work a lot easier.
Stick together. Still got 3 more games this season. We're going to bring you our hot takes now from Firehouse Subs. Brian, when you're looking ahead, what's your hot take?
Well, these are getting harder and harder because, they're obvious to people. But last week we talked about all the young players and why the Jaguars were able to beat the Titans because of their young players. But yesterday, in the most critical moment of the ball game, they lost because of one. It's tied at 25 in the fourth quarter. It's the final drive for the Jets, and it's 3rd down and 5 on the cusp of field goal range, and the Jets called timeout. So you had a chance to talk about this on the sideline. And when they lined up and I saw Davante Adams across being covered by Jarian Jones, I went, there it is. That's where they're going. And Jarian Jones let him go, right? You're in man coverage, and he let him go. So there was a miscue somewhere. He thought he made a mistake, but your young player in a crucial situation didn't do the right thing, and Davante Adams was wide open, and as you mentioned, I could have gotten the first down. Yeah. He went 41 yards to set up the game-winning touchdown. And so when you play with young players, you win with the sword and you die by the sword, so to speak, and that was the case yesterday on the most critical play of the game for the defense.
Yeah, I'm frankly not sure. I don't know that Jarian Jones was a bad matchup. He might be the best cornerback right now on this team.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Maybe we double that guy? That's a thought.
Well, yeah. Listen.
Davante Adams might require that.
Right. This is not meant to gut Jarian Jones. I think he's a really good young player. It's just whether it was the scheme and how you decided to do it, or whether it was the execution, you were relying on a young player against the best player on the field yesterday. Is there any argument that he was the best football player on the field yesterday? And so it didn't work out, and you have those mistakes with young players.
Yeah, I agree with Brian. It's tough to come up with a clever new hot takes after these games. I went with this is who they are. This is what they are. It's what they've been all season. They fight. They fought yesterday. The want to and the will were impressive. It was defined by Mac, but I didn't think there was any doubt they were playing together. They wanted to achieve, but they've lost big games. I mean, they've lost games with big plays at the end of games. They've lost 8 one-score games, and to further the theme, they're a team that gives up a criminal amount of explosive plays in big situations. It's hard to give up as many as they do. Yeah. And so I would rather be here at 8-5 talking about different things, but I don't know how else you define this team other than to say that game is what this season's all about.
It was a full microcosm of the entire year, I felt.
The full Monty.
Full deal. All right, I'm going a little positive. I don't think this is not a hot take for anybody in Jacksonville, but it might be a national hot take. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is currently the best wide receiver from his class right now. When you look at the stats, obviously none of those rookies are in great situations, and necessarily the team you could say Marvin Harrison Jr. is, but the Bears and the Giants have struggled as well. But Brian Thomas with his 2 touchdowns yesterday, breaking the franchise record for yards as well. He now leads in receiving yards. He leads in touchdowns. He does not lead in receptions, but Malik Neighbors has about 40 more targets than him, so that's a little bit of that. I think his development as well, also with a backup quarterback in Mac Jones, has shown his versatility, and he's just getting smarter as things go along. So in a draft where they said there were only 3 wide receivers, I think Brian Thomas Jr. is proving that there was more than that.
By the way, the Raiders have a young player that they're very excited about, just like Brian Thomas Jr. We'll see Brock Bowers, and people down here saw him all the time when he was at Georgia and was a star player. He leads all tight ends in the NFL, not just rookies, all tight ends in receptions and yards, and is a first-team All-Pro possibility.
And on a team where they've been struggling as well, so even more impressive.
They have struggled as well, and he slid. Remember, I mean,
yeah, I was wrong about Brock Bowers. I thought that he maybe had achieved in college because he was bigger, stronger, faster than everybody else, and you wondered if that doesn't always translate. And guess what? This is the first time I've ever.
No way. John's wrong.
So, the Raiders, they have a long tradition of great tight ends going all the way back to Dave Casper. For those of you old enough to recall, this guy is evoking those sorts of thoughts. He looks like he's truly a great player. So it's a great sign for people who are worried about draft order, right? Because he slid and Brian Thomas slid. In fact, the Jaguars moved back a couple of times and got Brian Thomas. It doesn't matter whether you're 3rd or whether you're 6th. What matters is that you get a great player. Find a great player, and there will be some good players, no matter where the Jaguars are. The Raiders got Bowers at what, 13, 14, something like that?
Yeah, in that range.
Yeah.
That'll do. All right, stay with us. We'll tell you what's going on the rest of this week when we come back after the break.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium, because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more, or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
We need to define a great deal in today's new home market, because the so-called great deals that you find on every corner just aren't the same as the incredible opportunities you'll find with a new Dreamfinders home. How about 2.99% in year 1 in one of Dreamfinder's 15 communities across North Florida? Now that's a great deal. 2.99% interest rate in year 1 and a beautiful new Dreamfinders home. Visit dfhsalesevent.com for our largest savings of the year on move-in ready homes. That's dfhsalesevent.com.
It's game time, Jaguars fans, and Publix knows that football is all about pairings. A high-scoring offense paired with a stingy defense. A rocket-armed QB paired with a dynamic wide receiver. And at Publix, you can pair hot deli chicken tenders with savory dips, delicious sub-platters with ice-cold beverages, and you can pair these tailgate essentials with an entire parking lot full of Jaguars fans chanting, Duval! Gear up for your tailgate at Publix, the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
A quality replacement window made with Fibrex material, which is 2 times stronger than vinyl, delivered through a stress-free process. Welcome to Renewal by Andersen. Get the peace of mind knowing Renewal by Andersen handles everything from start to finish. With one call, you'll enjoy working with the best people, exclusive products, and superior process. It's the people, it's the process, it's the product. For a limited time, buy one, get one 40% off all windows and doors, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Renewal by Andersen. A better way to a better window. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Prosser here for Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Football season finally upon us, and with that comes cooler weather. If you've been wanting to upgrade your outdoor living space, you should call the experts at Lifetime Enclosures now. From glass lanais to screened-in enclosures, Lifetime Enclosures and Flooring is the best in the business, so give them a call today. Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring. Showroom just off Phillips Highway, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Listen up. Just like football, timing is everything. Only water your lawn when necessary. And always check the weather before turning on those sprinklers.
Save water, save money, and score big. It's a win-win.
Whether you're on the field or at home, we're all on the same team. Florida's water. It's worth saving. This message brought to you by the St. Johns River Water Management District. Visit sjrwmd.com for more information.
Jags fans, if you want customized Jaguars furniture for your home, check out zipchair.com to browse all the customizable options. Zipchair is furniture for fans.
Playing football, so I can't speak for anybody else, but this is what I love to do. I've done it my whole entire life, so it sucks and it stings, it hurts, all of that, but I'm going to come in on Monday, Tuesday, whatever it is, and be ready to work and give my best effort, because I just love this.
Man loves football. That's what you want to hear when you're asked a question about how do you deal with all the losing. He loves to play football.
Please, just draft those guys.
Give me like 20 more of those.
Yes, there are guys who don't say it as bluntly as that. I'm not saying he's the only guy in the locker room who is that way. But John, that's the culture that you want is guys who love ball, especially in today's day and age where when these guys get paid, they are financially set for life. It's that love of football that keeps them trying to be better every day, that has them playing hard, whether you're 3-11 or whether you're 8-5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of that. That kid, and last year, John, everybody was down on him. They were, well, where's Brendan Strange, second-round pick? Be patient. Some of those guys, he's a total stud. He puts his hand in the ground and blocks, and he blocks his guy till the whistle. He runs good routes. He makes tough catches. I love the guy. Just more of that, please.
Yeah, it's another example of first-year player. If you try to judge them after their first year, you're still flipping a coin.
Yep.
It's a toss-up. All right, that was the Jets-Jags matchup. We're moving things along. We're going to prepare for the Raiders, so we'll be back on Wednesday to talk a little bit about what's going on around the league and what we got coming up this week.